Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here from the scariest movie ever made and riggedreality.com, and I got a video kind of wanted to put together here real quick for you and show you a couple of new TV shows that are coming out over the next few months, and I found some interesting connections there. So before we get to it, you'll have to know that of course both of these have to do with the end of the world as we know it, we'll say, alright? And you've probably seen that theme come up a lot over the last few years in movies and TV shows. More and more we're seeing these stories about the end of the world, about alien invasions, all this stuff, right? Like it's all coming to an end. And of course there's just a vibe in the air, whether you're a Christian or not. A lot of Christians are feeling it right now, but whether you're a Christian or not, a believer or not, it doesn't really matter. I've got atheist and agnostic friends that can definitely feel there's something in the air. There's something changing. There's something different going on right now, right? So if you're not familiar with my kind of videos, go check out my channel. You can check out my website also, Rigged Reality. And you'll see that I do a lot of videos like this. And I post a lot of videos like this because there's another language going on in our world. It's not just the language of words, it's the language of symbols. And it's also the language of images, and that's what happens a lot with a lot of these TV shows and movies, is it all turns out to be really predictive programming. Oftentimes it's kind of hinting at you about things that are going to come, and there's a lot of different reasons why they do that. I'll explain that a little bit more at the end of this video, and we'll get to that in just a second, okay? But first, guys, let's go ahead and check out this first one. It's called Revolution. It's going to be on NBC, and I'm going to point a couple things out for you, and then I'll stop it and I'll show you the connections I'm talking about. I'm not going to play the whole thing, it's like 4 minutes long, but I'll leave a link underneath for you, okay? And by the way, it looks kind of cool, to be honest with you. I like stuff like this, so check it out.
The kids are great. You want to talk to Charlie? Charlie? What is going on?
We don't have much time. Benjamin, where have you been? It's all going to turn off. What? It's going to turn off, and it will never, ever turn back on. What's going to turn off? What are you talking about? Everything. Did I lose you? Miles.
Alright, I'm going to play a little bit more for you because this is just kind of giving you a taste, but we'll come back to the J.J. Abrams thing in a second, okay?
What the hell is going on? Electricity for everything, even to grow food and pump water. But after the blackout, nothing worked. Not even car engines or jet turbines, hell, even batteries, all of it gone forever. Governments fell, militias and generals.
Alright guys, anyway, that kind of gives you a little bit of the idea of what the show is going to be all about, right? So, I'm going to play a couple little things here real quick.
Where have you been? It's all turn back on. What's going to turn off? What are you talking about?
I'll show you something else here.
Miles.
So there, some may say that's your pyramid with the sun right there, okay? There's that. And he's holding an emblem. There's another symbol right there. An eye, another pyramid with a sun maybe, right? But these are kind of common Illuminati type symbols, guys. If you're not used to that kind of study or knowledge, just research it for yourself, alright? So J.J. Abrams, who is J.J. Abrams? Well, most of you guys probably know who that is. He's got a huge name when it comes to movies and TV shows. He's done tons. You've probably seen some of his work. You might not even know it, but for TV, gosh, he did Lost, of course, and that's kind of the whole point of this video for me is his connection to Lost. But he does Fringe for movies. He's done the Mission Impossible movies. did, gosh, I can't remember the name of him. Anyway, just look the guy up if you don't know who he is. But J.J. Abrams is pretty huge. Anyway, so he did Lost, and I don't have TV. I haven't had one or owned one in a really, really long time, or really watched it regularly. It's been years, but I will go online to watch things, and I was a big, big fan of Lost. So, even I get hooked up into some of this stuff sometimes, It was a great show, I thought. So he was hooked up into Lost. So here he is doing another show about the end of the world, as we know it. It's funny because that same day when I saw this trailer, I had just read about Damon Lindelof, who was one of his partners on Lost. He was one of the big creative partners on Lost, had a lot to do with the show. And this is what Damon Lindelof is doing now, right here. Not long ago, Lost writer and producer Damon Lindelof announced he would return to television-based projects after venturing into big-screen endeavors, blah, 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 okay? But right in here at the bottom, says his new project is to adapt Tom Perotta's 2011 novel, The Leftovers, for HBO. So what's The Leftovers about? All right, we're going to scroll down here. So again, you see the Damon Lindelof connection with J.J. Abrams. Another interesting thing about Lindelof I just passed over is right here. He was one of the writers on Prometheus. Guys, I don't know if you've seen Prometheus or not. If you haven't, here's a little bit of a spoiler alert, so you might want to plug your ears up for a couple seconds. But Prometheus isn't really a horror movie. It's not about aliens so much or anything like this. If you watch it and you understand about the Nephilim, about the fallen angels, the hybridization that takes place between them and us, the humans on Earth, that's what that movie is all about. Prometheus is all about the fallen angels. It's all about the Nephilim. They even talk about faith a lot through there. There's one of the scientists who have a little cross around her neck. She's asked a few times if her faith still remains because she's found out that these beings are what brought us here or left us here. That's kind of the drive of the story, I guess. And kind of her answer is, I want to know who made them, But it gets really deep. Prometheus is not just some goofy sci-fi horror film or anything. It's really, really deep. Lots of symbolism going on in that. Even a few times she'll be laying down and they have her cross around her neck turned upside down. It's really all about her faith. And I almost see Prometheus with a connection to The Leftovers, because I see Prometheus as, now go with me on this, let's say there is a fake alien invasion. A lot of people believe that's coming. Research it for yourself. It'll be the devil, let's say. It'll be the fallen ones, right? A lot of people are going to fall for it. That's kind of what Prometheus felt like to me, like setting people up for it, because there's going to be a battle of your faith if this stuff goes down. You're going to have to start questioning what you believe. Is it God or is it these aliens, right? And I thought that was interesting, the fact that he's making a TV show now called The Leftovers. And The Leftovers, without reading the whole thing, and again, I'll just put a link down here so you can check it out for yourself. But the basic principle right here, it says maybe similar to the Left Behind series. But here, the idea isn't leading to an eventual showdown between good and evil. Instead, The Leftovers is concerned with exploring the ramifications and seemingly unanswerable questions of what the event actually was and how regular people are expected to carry on with their lives. What it really is, guys, it's about the rapture. The Leftovers is about the rapture, and it's about the people who are left behind and how they deal with it. So I thought that was interesting that Damon's partner, J.J. Abrams, is making another end-of-the-world type TV show. Damon's making a TV show about the end of the world as we know it, and he just is fresh off of making a movie, Prometheus, kind of explaining, there's a connection there with the end of the world as well, that it's all about the fallen angels, or it's all about, in this movie, the aliens, that put the humans here. So, I don't know. I don't think I'm reaching on this one, guys. I think there's some subtle connections there. So I wanted to share it with you. I thought it was interesting. As always, something to keep your eyes open for whenever you start seeing these little connections and a lot of these TV shows and movies coming out talking about the end. And I thought this was kind of interesting right here. Like I said, The Leftovers, a TV show coming out about how people deal with being left behind. So we'll see. Hopefully, all this stuff isn't exactly around the corner. I don't wish bad on anybody, but we'll see. Thought it was interesting, guys. So thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later. Check out this video at the very end here. It'll kind of explain predictive programming a little bit to you.
Now, I also mentioned, too, that a fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time, his brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He'll never give anything away whatsoever, except one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's changed the whole culture of nations, not just one nation. Why do you think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain give access to televisions by the government? Why do you think China is under the same program to get everyone with a TV right now? Because they love to have you entertained. Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see. As Charles Galton, Darwin and others have said in the past. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television. You can't watch a movie unless you do it critically. If you watch it critically, not there to enjoy it. Remember what they say, it's your emotions that get you on. And it's interwoven, all these emotional themes all through movies. You're played like a harp. And they embed ideas into you, along with the movies. And predictive programming too. So you'll accept that which is still to come. And you'll behave the same way as the characters in the movie when it comes. Oh well, what can you do? I'll just watch much music or television. Yeah. You're given a mind of your own, and you've got to use it for yourself. And believe you me, if you ever had a nation or wanted a nation, you'd have to make sure that everyone took their turn. Everyone took their turn. Just like jury duty, to go in and oversee the guys that are supposed to be taking care of everything on your behalf. It's a tight club right now. It's been like that forever, because they never intended to give you anything called democracy, or, in fact, a republic. Gangs and fraternities run the systems of the countries. That's how they're run. And under taxation, and it's true what Marx said, and it's true what Lenin said, about that part of it, all wealth comes from labor. And tax is another term for labor. When they take your labor from you and give you nothing back for it, that's called stealing and slavery. Slavery, folks. But no teacher told you that, did they? Look at the dictionaries if you can find an old enough one, because they keep changing them too. From Hamish myself from Ontario, Canada, it's good night. I mean, your God or your gods go with you.